if you're sat here now and you're against animal cruelty, so if you're against animal cruelty, raise your hand if you are against animal cruelty. Yeah? Anyone else? Okay. You're against animal cruelty. Now keep your hand up, please. Keep your hand up if you are currently living a vegan lifestyle. Okay. Now the people with the hands up, you are all morally consistent because you are against animal cruelty and you're backing it up with your actions. That's why you're vegan. Now, the next section of this, we're going to talk about and explain this further. For non-vegans here, just know this is coming from a place of compassion, okay? It's coming from a place of love. I want you to listen really carefully if you're non-vegan. So if somebody is against animal cruelty, okay, is there a non-cruel way to exploit animals? Let's change the wording of that, okay? Let's change one word. Is there a non-cruel way to exploit humans? So everyone says no when we say humans, but we switch humans for animals and some people might be questioning it. The answer is no. There is no non-cruel way to exploit animals. So how can someone be against animal cruelty but continue to pay for them to be exploited? It's not really possible. It's a moral inconsistency. Some people may say that it's necessary for us to exploit them. We still need to exploit them. But then how am I stood here? And how are all these people that put their hands up here? And how did one of my good friends, Kuntal, climb to the top of Everest if he needed to exploit animals to get there? But he didn't. You know, he made it. So our instincts, our internal instincts that we're born with are to care for the weaker animals and the weaker members of our society. We do not have any killer instinct at all. If you give any child a chicken or, I don't know, a piece of fruit, they will play with the animal and they will eat the fruit. No child would ever kill an animal. You give that same two things to a lion cub, that lion will rip the chicken to pieces within a minute, okay? Because lions are instinctively killers and humans, we have no killer instinct whatsoever. So what I'm trying to get at here is why this creates conflict in our minds if we're against cruelty, but yet we're still contributing to it. We know more or less what happens in slaughterhouses. I think most non-vegans know what happens in slaughterhouses too. But a lot of vegans and non-vegans don't quite understand just how fully cruel the dairy industry and the egg industry is. So I'm going to quickly touch on them for the sake of anyone that doesn't know here. So do we have any mothers here? Is anybody here a mother or a parent? Mothers, yeah. Okay, so it's a beautiful thing to have children, obviously. So I hope you're all happy with them. I hope they're not at those tough ages yet. But the point I'm making here is that in the dairy and the egg industries, mothers are exploited. Okay, actual mothers, like mothers of other species. So a female cow, firstly, she's artificially inseminated in a very invasive and cruel way. Then she has her baby, the baby is taken away from her, and the milk is taken to give to adult humans, okay? So let's imagine that was a human in the same place. That would never happen. You know, we respect mothers. We have the highest respect for human mothers, but it seems we have very little respect for a different species. And the male cows that are born in that industry are killed immediately for meat. And I know a lot of people have the belief that this doesn't happen in India, but India is one of the largest beef exporters in the world. And I know there are some religious beliefs about cows, but that's a fact. So whether we like it or not, it's the truth. With the chickens and the egg industry, a lot of people believe that eggs are not cruel and that chickens, we just take the egg because they don't eat them. In the wild, a chicken would lay between 10 and 15 eggs a year. 10 to 15 eggs a year, I just want to be clear on that. With the chickens that we breed and we use, they lay upwards of 50. So in a nice small farm, they would lay around 50. In a massive industrial estate, they would lay around 200 to 300 eggs in a year. Imagine that as a human woman having that many children in a year. It's the same stress on the body of a chicken. The chicken's tiny and the egg's quite large. The stress it puts on their bodies gives them a much shorter life expectancy. So in essence, it's killing them, taking their eggs. And the male chicks in that industry as well, they have the same fate as the male cows. So they're killed almost immediately. So we can ask ourselves as well, another point I want to make, why are we exploiting only chickens, pigs, and cows predominantly? Why don't we exploit rhinos? Why don't we exploit crocodiles and tigers and elephants? Why do we only use those animals for meat and dairy, and we only keep those animals? Well, the reason is that, unfortunately, cows, pigs, and chickens are very docile, trusting, and trainable. They're non-aggressive, and we exploit that about them. We exploit the fact that they trust and that they will come to us, you know? To give you an example of another situation, let's look at it in school, okay? Imagine that, you know, everyone's had that in school, in classroom, when there's a child that's very shy. Everyone's had it, right? The child that doesn't speak, the child that sits in the corner and doesn't have any friends, okay? That would be considered like a weaker child of the class. And what do we do? A good person, what would a good person do with that child? They would help them. They would try to help them, pull them out and try to make them friends. They wouldn't exploit them. They wouldn't like kick them while they're down, like, oh, you're weak. No, because our instinct is to help. So how can somebody be a good person and do that to other animals that are weak? These animals are completely defenseless, just like the weak child in the classroom. Yet we don't help them. Instead, we exploit that weakness. We use them because they can't fight back. So a good person has a conflict with that because, you know, how can you believe you're a good person and do that to a weak animal? Yeah, I want to talk about the impact that this has on a mind of an individual. This is the whole point I'm explaining it all for. So people believe they are good. Okay, people believe they are good, they are compassionate, and you had all your hands up, people believe they are against animal cruelty. But we're not living the vegan lifestyle. That is a huge conflict and an inconsistency. Inconsistencies of your mind will cause you stress, subconsciously or consciously. So what I'm going to show you is kind of how this works, so you make it a bit more clear. So somebody says, I am compassionate, I am loving, I am caring, I am a good person. They get new knowledge, or they have knowledge on animal agriculture. They have knowledge on what's happening, what I've just explained. Yeah, they have this knowledge now. They know what's happening. But then they say, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop eating these products. I don't want to stop using them. I'm happy with what I'm doing. They have a moral inconsistency and a conflict in their mind because they're saying, I'm a good person. I should stop, but I don't want to. And then you get stressed. And then they say, but I am compassionate. And then they say, but I know about this, but I don't want to stop. And it goes round and round and round and round. And whether somebody even realizes this or not, it's happening. I see it every time I do a Cube of Truth. These people, they have this, it happens right there and then. And they get stressed and they take it out on you, the activists. They'll say to you, like, don't force me what to tell, don't tell me what to do. We're not telling you what to do, we're pointing out an inconsistency in your mind and you're getting upset about it. And this is a cycle. The only way to break that cycle is to say, I am compassionate and caring, I do believe I'm a good person, and that's why I am now going to stop paying for this to happen. Then you have moral consistency, you have a healthy mind, and you're saving the lives of thousands of animals. That's how you fix this problem. And this is directly linked to your health and to your fitness and to your life, and of course to thousands of animals worldwide. Again, can you raise your hand if you're vegan one more time? Okay. Now stop looking at me and look around at each other with your hands high. Look at the people with their hands raised. I want you to look around at these people. These are your brothers and sisters. These are the people that are going to change the world with you. And I want you to just smile now, and be happy, and know that you are doing something that in its 50 years' time, people are going to look back and they're going to say, you were revolutionary. I want you to never stop what you're doing. To everybody who didn't put their hand up, I only have hope and compassion for you, and I know that every single one of you is a compassionate person. I know every single one of you that didn't put your hands up loves and cares for other people and other animals. And all I ask for you today is to consider making that a lifestyle. Take your compassion and go with it. Run with it. Like, don't hide it. When you see an animal being killed and you go, oh my God, I hate that. Yeah, you hate that. So do something about it. Change your lifestyle. Change the way you're living. Start looking into a caring and compassionate life. Align what you believe in with what you're doing. Where you spend your money, what you decide to eat, align it. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I'll take some questions.